Well, good morning. It's a beautiful morning, 18 July 2020. A little bit of canal exploring. We're down here at the Sansai Kill Aqueduct in Patersonville, otherwise known as the Patersonville Aqueduct, I guess. Try to get around here without killing myself. This is very secluded, as it's in backyards on both sides, and very difficult to get to. In fact, the way I had to get to it is walking down the stream here from 5S. So I parked up on 5S there in the village and walked down the middle of the stream. The water's low, the water's warm. It's about 90 degrees today, so it's a very pleasant day to do something like this. Nicely preserved for the inattention it gets around here. Nicely preserved aqueduct. I'm not going to go in some areas because respecting people's privacy. I don't know where the boundaries are. So I'm just going to try to stay in the creek bed. I've already been around it and taken a number of photographs and video. Four arches. You can see that the like most of these structures, the stream is over the years filled in two of them completely, where people got a yard there. I imagine people will probably help that out, and then the stream itself is it's one of these very flashy streams, so the debris comes down and gets hung up on the aqueduct itself, and but it's got a pretty big floodplain, so I don't know if it floods anybody, so I don't think they worry about it too much. But the stream is now in one of the bays, and the other one has showing signs that it's just the overflow. Pretty well filled in. The piers are fairly good condition. Not too bad. Pretty straight. There's been a little bit of stone movement, either people knocking them off. There's a stone here with marks on it. There's also been some patching, some concrete work. It looks like to shore up the upstream side. It's period concrete, I'll call bank run. Here's the other side. This is looking east down the canal bed, and this would be looking west. You can see the house over there. On the other side of the house is Elm Street, just to get oriented. Get down here. Like I say, the stream is pretty low, and it's got a very firm bottom, so I'm not worried about sinking in. There is people mowing the top of this, so they are still using it. Somebody's using it for a trail, or, and I say, I don't know whose it is, if it's if I can walk on top, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just walk around it here. There's more of that concrete. Down there you can see the concrete must have been there trying to do some repairs on the aqueduct and use that. Here's the bed stones for the timbers. And if the light is right, you can still see the attachment points right here where the the timbers were bolted down. Go up here. Here's the bed. The walls are still in very good condition. Now we're walking east along the channel, and if I turn around, it's looking west along the channel. Say there's some evidence of people throwing their trash in here, but it's not horrible. It's really, I think because it is so isolated, it is well protected. And, I grew up in this area. Remember coming down here a couple times as a kid, not to see the aqueduct, but hang around with somebody or two, and I remember the aqueduct. I had some pictures from the 1970s, just a couple snapshots. Certainly nothing that documents the structure, just to catch as a glimpse. Now we're walking on the towpath, and I think there was always call for, the Erie Canal Trail to follow this, and the problem is, even though the towpath looks fairly complete to the east here, heading towards Rotterdam Junction, it does go in people's backyards, and by the time the idea of the Erie Canal Trail came along, this was all backyards, and you would have honestly had to go through somebody's house, I think. So I'm going to get a picture of the top of the trail. You can see there's been a little activity here. Somebody's been scalping up, doing something here. Looking this way, this is north towards the Mohawk River, about 100 yards to the Mohawk River down there. So I imagine this, when the river floods, this backs up pretty good. And here's the towpath. Let's walk out here, and there's no trespassing sign, so I'm gonna just do this. And it's the dam, these aqueducts with the low clearance underneath them, sometimes they use these dams as stilling features to, when the creek ran heavy, carried down a lot of sediment and rocks, it would collect above that dam, because that dam would pool the water, still the water, and cause all that stuff to drop out, and then the water would flow over and underneath the aqueduct and not clog it up so much like you see here. You see this, Centerport Aqueduct has it, the Jordan Aqueduct, and a lot of these low clearance aqueducts underneath. And obviously that dam was put in much later, since it is all concrete, unless there's a stonework underneath it. Have to check the Schillner map to see what it shows, but that might be the function of the dam. It's another interesting thing I noticed here was these abutment walls are straight. A lot of the aqueducts you see are curved. They have a curved structure, which I think, because of being an arch, is stronger. This one is straight. Just comes down, goes off at a 45, and ends. And the other side is the same way, so that's not a replacement or anything. That's how it was built. There are a couple stones remaining here showing how high the wall was over the years. Again, as typical, the people have either robbed those off or kids have knocked them in the creek. But you can see the two stones on top of this, and these are original. And if I was Dr. Beebe, I would be looking somewhere in here for a surveyor's mark. He always likes to find them. I did not look for it. Stone looks like it's been concrete or spackled over, and it's cracked and everything. And but apparently this is where they are, is on the northeast end of the structure. So when they did the survey, that's how they marked all the monuments. Very open, very accessible, aside from walking down the creek. Not a lot of overgrowth. I mean, you want to wear shoes you can get wet. There's that wall, that straight wall. The detail with the stone here sticking out. A little bit of a rain drip edge. Decorative feature in the buttresses. I don't know if this tree was up top and fell over. It was pushed off, or if it just floated here. It looks like it's somewhat still attached up there. You can hear the main line of the railroad across the Mohawk over there. A little concerning here because if you notice right there, there's a stone missing underneath, and it's you know, it's showing signs of movement here. I mean, right on that end, it has definitely sunk in. It's a very large stone. So again, here's the back up here without falling over. So here's the abutment with the stone on top. This is the northeast side. The abutment wall. First arch. Second arch. I know I'm getting some glare. I'm sorry. I'm pointing into the sun here. And then the third and fourth arch are high and dry. If you've ever been I mean, it looks a lot like the Camillus Aqueduct, you know, except the same types of features, the drip edge, the decorative work here. Except Camillus has the rounded abutments there. Spin around here. Sorry to make it go so fast here. So let me walk up here. This is a well-used area by somebody, a local landowner or whatever, because it's got quite a nice trail going down to the river. Notice the retaining walls, or the how there's a wall there to help control the flooding. I found a bit of stonework on the southeast end in the valley. I'm not going to show here, but a lot of stonework where they're shoring up the walls for floods. So here's arch 3 and arch 4, and very nice because you can walk right down. And again, I'm sorry the light is not the best. Touch the top here, the keystone. get out of the sun. So that's a quick tour of the Sansai Kill Aqueduct. Patersonville, New York. Hope you enjoyed it.